Yes, people, welcome back to What the Devil. Welcome back to the United View YouTube channel. Welcome back to another episode, what is it, 86 now, of What the Devil, a collaboration between United View and United District. I am Dylan, your host today, and we're going to be talking pretty much, mostly, about the Spurs game. So Ruben Amorim's press conference is coming up in just under half an hour. Once again, it's on a Thursday. So those of you who were with us last week, we spent the second half of the show going through Ruben Amorim's comments, what he was saying, and that was just me. But today, I'm joined on my left by Alice.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm feeling a bit of the the winter, not the winter blues, but like the winter era, I feel like is starting. I need to reset a little bit.
It's getting dark.
It's getting dark. Clocks have gone back. It's getting cold. But it's not that kind of cold that is actually really, really cold. It's just the annoying cold, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's that.
Where it's a bit raining, a bit cold.
Like you've got to put your heating on, and you don't want to pay for putting the heating on.
Yeah.
Otherwise it'll get cold, but it's not that cold.
Really tough times, isn't it? But not necessarily tough times for United. Well,
But 4 unbeaten is good for us.
4 unbeaten is good, but it's felt a bit like it. To me, it didn't feel like this. But I got the impression, at least online, that a lot of people were acting like we'd lost the Forest game.
I think it's just because we're Forest are in the league, but I think they've got to remember this Sean Dyche has come in, they got the new manager bounce. I wish we could have played Ange's Forest, but we couldn't play Ange's Forest. We got Sean Dyche's Forest. I think the problem was with the second half was some of Ruben Amorim's faults came up again. It was quite obvious 10 minutes into the second half this wasn't working. And we were 2-1 down and we were just doing the same thing over and over again. I felt that we weren't going to get back in the game. It actually took a moment of Ahmad brilliance to get us back in the game, which shifted momentum the last 10 minutes. I felt that maybe Amorim could have been quicker with subs, could have made some changes. And I think my biggest issue with Amorim is, you look at the Europa League final, for example, that game could have gone on for another hour and I felt like we wouldn't have scored because he was doing the same thing over and over again. We need a goal, I'll sub Yorov or Maguire, and it's if we know after 20 minutes this approach isn't working because the opposition have figured us out, even if it works great the first half an hour, if it's not working 15, 20 minutes into the second half, he still just continues the same approach throughout the whole second half. And I think Ahmad brilliance bailed us out. Maybe that's the concern people have, but I think ultimately if we beat Tottenham, then this sort of draw for me is whatever. It's just a draw. It's unbeaten. It's 5 unbeaten. That's how I see it. I think if it's a bad performance versus Tottenham, maybe the negativity creeps in. But if we beat Tottenham, I'm not really going to think twice about this game.
Do you agree with what Wilcox said yesterday? I don't know if you've seen the full podcast that was put out. It was actually it was the Inside Carrington podcast. It came out the United's official podcast. Whatever. Actually, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. So it was really interesting seeing Jason Wilcox talk about the transfer stuff and how they feel about what's going on at the club at the moment. And Wilcox effectively said that was a game that we would have lost last year, and he went, "This year we didn't." Is that standards being really low, or does Wilcox have a very good point?
I think a bit of both. I think, the standards have definitely lowered because we were seething with a 6th place finish 5 years ago, whereas now we're if we finish 6th, we'll take it. Even 8th feels all right compared to 15th. And when Ten Hag came 8th, it was a disgrace. So I do think the standards have lowered, but I also think we lost twice to Forest last year. I don't think we deserved to lose twice to Forest last year. I think there were 2 games where we actually, we lost both games. Alangas ran halfway up the pitch and scored against us in the away game. And then the home game, Milenkovic beat Leacher to a corner. And we went, I think, 2-0 down quite early. But in both those games, we actually had all right performances, but we didn't win the games. Whereas today, last week, I felt that actually we had the quality to get 2 goals. Whereas we didn't have that attacking quality last time we played Forest. You've got Cunha instead of Garnacho. You've got Mbuma instead of, I think, Xerxes. That might have been right 10 in the game. Ahmad back from injury because he would have been injured in that game. And then, Sesko is an upgrade on Højlund. So I think when you've got that level of quality more, potentially I think if Garnacho, Højlund and Xerxes was our front 3 and Ahmad was injured, we probably don't draw that game.
I don't see us scoring at all with that front 3. I mean, so many times last season, I never saw us scoring with that kind of front 3. But if you are watching, you're in the comments, do get involved. Let me know initially what you guys thought of the Spurs game. We'll be of the Forest game, and we'll be moving on to Spurs game in a second. But how I see that Forest game this is what I said to you just before we went on air, was that I don't we did enough on a different day to win that game. But we also did enough to make sure that we were never going to win that game, is the way I can put it. It's so we scored 2 goals. We created a couple more chances. Ahmad right at the end of the game literally had a goal line clearance, Murillo. That was the reason ultimately we didn't win that game in the dying moments. But then also it was just a 5-minute period where we were just really, really sloppy, really, really quickly, and conceded 2 goals from it. Delete that 5-minute period, and we're 1-0 up in the 60th, 70th minute, and we can push on for a second. But I think the issue that has been exposed in that Forest game, like you were saying, like Amorim's old things creeped up, was once again, when we had the ball, we weren't as good. Like we're more threatening when we don't have the ball, pretty much every single time. And so when we went 2-1 down, Forest were a little bit like, cool.
Went into their hands.
Come on. And then we were like, oh, what do we do? We've got the ball now. How do we break this down? Whereas when we've gone 1-0 up in games, like these games, the Brighton game, Chelsea game,
Sunderland.
Yeah, and Sunderland and Liverpool as well. We got an early goal, like within the opening quarter of the game. Whereas this time we didn't. Oh, sorry, we did, to be fair. We did, but then with the other games we didn't fall back.
Lapse of concentration. Yeah. I think you're right with everything you're saying. Like, we are so much better when we don't dominate possession. You look at the Arsenal game, first game of the season. You know, the games we're not expected to dominate possession, we do better in. The games we don't dominate possession, we do better in. And when we are 1-0 up, we do better. And Forest are the team you don't want to be 1 goal down to, because Sean Dyche just wants to defend.
Yeah, Sean Dyche is a man you don't want to be 2-1 down to.
That 5-minute period changed the game, because look, I don't think we came out the best in the second half, and I don't think the first half was amazing, but we did enough to go 1-0 up. I don't, like I said in my halftime review when we were 1-0 up at halftime, I was like, we need to do better in the second half, because I said I can see Forest coming back into this, but it was 5 minutes of stupidity from us that let them back in the game. And if that doesn't happen, when we're 1-0 up against Forest, their approach is different. They're going to leave more space in behind, and there's a chance that we can make it 2-0 a lot easier than we could have made it 2-2.
Yeah.
I think that was the issue that we have. I think we need to be better at breaking teams down, and that's something I think Amorim's got to look at, because you can't just swap the centre-backs around when you want to break a team down. It's like, could you take, Dalot off, put Luke Shaw left back, go to a back 4, bring Maino on, go to midfield 3 for the last 10 minutes of the game if you're chasing a goal. I'm not saying change your formation to start with, but if you're 2-1 down with 10 minutes to go, Dalot's having a stinker, take him off for Maino, put Maino in the midfield 3 in midfield 4 at the back. You've got a bit more control in the middle of the park.
Well, we know he's never changing that.
But why? I just like...
because it's Ruben Amorim. We know he's never going to do it. But there was a lot of interesting comments from the game about the substitutes and being like, why don't we change any of our front three? When I realised, like in the 70th minute, I was like, okay, this front three isn't changing. Like, we're not going to make any attacking changes. I kind of backed it, because at the end of the day, Amorim, I think, looked at it and just went, I want my best forwards on the pitch. Yeah. And if he started all his best forwards, I guess the only one we could have maybe done with is bringing on Mount, for example, who is better against low blocks, especially on that left-hand side. It could have been Cunha for Mount. Or Cunha centrally and Šeško off or something like that. I do think that was maybe the one change you could have made, or even if it's take Dalot off and put Mount a wing back again. Yeah, just honestly, have him around there somewhere. Yeah, Dalot was the one from that starting 11. That's the only change I'd make.
I don't think... I know Dorgu's raw, but at least Dorgu's got that sort of left foot you can put a first-time cross in. Not that it's the best cross. I'm just not convinced that
Dorgu does pin teams back a bit.
Yeah, I just think I would have Dorgu over Dalot, or I'd trial Luke Shaw out for half an hour and just see if his legs can do it.
That's definitely happening soon, by the way.
You think so? I mean,
at some point soon, Shaw's going to go at left wing back, because Amorim's going to want to see it.
Leach is coming back. Heather's there. Exactly. Mazraoui can play left centre back. Yoro can play left centre back. We've got enough centre backs to say, you know what, Shaw, I'm going to try left wing back. I want to see it. I
want to see it, because I've got a sneaky feeling that it's 2026 World Cup Luke Shaw.
He's going to be back.
He could be so back for a bit. I do want to move ahead to this Spurs game, because the last couple of days that I've been filming with Abby on DR Sports, she's both on camera and off camera been a bit iffy about this game. But then as soon as they beat Copenhagen 4-0, because her whole thing has been their defence is quite good, but our attack is quite good. Their attack isn't fantastic and our defence isn't fantastic. I say our defence has good individual players, but it's just we keep having these 1 or 2 sloppy moments from one individual, which means that we've only kept 1 clean sheet so far this season. But she's always said to me, her biggest issue with Spurs is she can't work out where the goals come from. She's like, we got a good defence, and then we've got no one to actually take that ball from the defence and then put it into the attacking line. But then against Copenhagen, Xavi Simons was really good. Obviously, Van der Ven scored that ridiculous goal. You had Sergio Romero bombing down through the centre.
Their centre backs are their best players by a country mile.
But it's absolutely no doubt their defence is fantastic. Chris Amoy does ask, why does Amorim keep playing Dalot? I think
Cousins.
Cousins.
I'm only joking, but
what is it? It's like Cousins'
third
time. It's like their great grandfathers was like a circus man.
It's like third or fourth cousins.
Yeah, I still find that so funny. What I was thinking about the other day is I wonder if they knew that before Amorim came to the club. Imagine they just worked that out. Like they was like a team dinner or something, and they were just like, having a chat, and then Dalot goes, "Yeah, my great granddad was a circus guy," and then Amorim goes, "So was mine." Like I don't know if they knew that before.
Maybe they figured that out the other day, and that's why.
Well, because the report said that the club confirmed it, so that clearly it had been worked out previously. Like the club didn't. It wasn't news to the club. Yeah, I just find that very funny. But I think it's a case of he's playing Dalot at the moment because I think he doesn't want to play Dorgu.
I think he trusts Dalot.
I think he's giving Dorgu a bit of a kick up the backside.
Yeah,
being like, look, you were a safe starter for the first 10 months of your career here. I need to show you that you're not.
He definitely trusts Dalot. I joke that it's because they're cousins, but it's obviously not. Dalot's in the leadership squad. Dalot has been liked by every manager because whether we think Dalot's great or not, he has always worked quite hard, and I think he has decent technical attributes and decent physical attributes. He's just not a wing back. Like Dalot in a back four, you're like, okay, solid player. I don't think he's better than Mazraoui.
Especially on the left.
But Dalot in a back four, if he has to play, make sure left back, you're like, okay, solid player. But he's not a wing back. We've had a year of him at wing back and it's been poor. Like, it's just like, I think maybe Dorgu's a bit raw, maybe lacking confidence, and he's like, Dalot's got the mindset for it, maybe. I don't know.
I think he's just waiting for Martinez. Like Amorim, I think Amorim's waiting for Martinez to come back so we can move Shaw there.
What about Mazraoui left centre back or Yoro left centre back?
But Mazraoui's fitness has been so unreliable.
Yeah.
That is. I think Yoro towards the second half of last season was
left centre
brilliant.
back.
Yeah, at left centre back he was fantastic. But yeah, I do want to look ahead to, as it says on the back here, I do want to look ahead to the Spurs game for a bit because as I was saying, I can't work out if they're easy to beat or not. Their home form in the league has been terrible for the last year and a half.
They've got like away?
The games at Spurs Stadium.
Yeah.
So Spurs have taken, it's something crazy, like 19 of their last 62 possible points.
Jeez.
At home.
I think their last home win was Burnley, which was the opening game of the season.
Yeah, so this season, last home was 3-0 win against Burnley. They haven't got that. KDB Stam says, hi guys. Hello. Welcome to the show. But on Spurs, it's... I can't tell if I'm confident or not. I don't want to be confident because that's when we always get let down. But at the same time, like this is another thing, is our away record hasn't been fantastic.
No,
but then
5
against
points.
the big teams... Away from home under Amorim, we've been very good generally.
Yeah.
Liverpool, Arsenal, we haven't been good. City last November or December. Obviously, we got pumped 3-0. But I think that there are a lot of signs that this game could finally be the game that we beat Spurs under Amorim. Because it's been 4 times last season. They scored 9 goals in 4 games against us. We scored like 3 or 4.
I actually think we're slight favourites going into the game because they don't have Solanke, Kulusevski, Maddison, which contributed to so many of their goals last season. Kudus, if he's out, is a huge blow because Kudus is like carrying their attack. I think the big boost for Spurs, weirdly, is their defence is so important. Like Udogie's very good with ball progression. Romero is very good with ball progression. Van de Ven is mint. Porro's good. Spurs' best attackers, weirdly, their centre-backs in a weird way.
Same with Arsenal. I think it's just a North London thing. Yeah,
so it's like if we can limit their attack and actually not defend like idiots and make silly mistakes, I think the game is there. But they are very good defensively. Thomas Frank's been playing Palhinha and Bentancur together, which is just really rock solid defensively. But that means on the ball they're pretty crap, like trying to progress it forward. So it'll be interesting to see Frank's approach. This game is screaming like 0-0 or 1-0. I feel like it's going to be a bad game.
There has to be goals in it.
I think it's going to be a rubbish game. I think whoever goes 1-0 up wins the game 1-0. I think it's 0-0, 1-0. Look, if we can get a 4-3 thriller and we win it late, Sesko in the last minute, 4-3, brilliant. But this is giving 1-0, 0-0 for me.
Maybe I'm just trusting our attackers too much. Maybe I'm trusting Mbeumo too much here. But I'm specifically looking at Mbeumo and going, this is the exact type of game.
He loves these
where
games.
he loves these kind of games, like Liverpool game, like scoring crucial goals against Brighton, assisting against like what was it? His assists were against Sunderland and then Fulham away from 10.
Cunha versus Porro. I feel like Porro's quite good going forward, but has defensive liabilities. I think Cunha could drag Porro out potentially. I feel like if we're going to score, it's going to come from outside the box, like Cunha moment of brilliance. I don't see us breaking them down. They've been very good in the box.
Is that if you reckon we can't score inside the box, then could it be another game where we don't start Šeško?
Potentially, we could
Like
go
if
with
we
Mount
play like
and Cunha
Cunha through the middle and then Mount on the right.
I wouldn't be shocked if we saw that. I think we could see Mount. I think he rested Mount a bit. He likes Mount. I think we could see Mount.
And it's also against a London club. I don't know. KDB Stam says, can we keep a clean sheet? No. No.
I mean, we've got Le Mans, so we're better, but we're just not.
He's kept all of our clean sheets this season, but we have only kept one.
Yeah.
It's been such a problem for us because we've scored 17 goals in the league. I don't know how that compares to other teams in the league so far, but 17 goals in 10 games. It's actually not the worst.
It's not bad.
So Man City have 20 with the most, and then it's Chelsea 18, Arsenal 18, Liverpool 18, and then 17 is Bournemouth, Spurs, Brighton, us, and then it's Brentford and Palace on 14. But it's the fact that we've also conceded 16.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's our problem, is that we keep having these little moments.
Of Spurs goals have come through set pieces this season, so that's something we've got to watch. I think set piece defending, because we're not great. Like I think we look a little bit more calm with Le Mans in goal, but we've been pretty messy from set pieces. The first game of the season, Arsenal, Baindia had a howler there. Tottenham are very good at set pieces, and I don't see Tottenham really doing loads in open play unless they really get between our midfield and defence and dominate the midfield. I think it is the set pieces that worries me a little bit with Tottenham.
Yeah, since Le Mans came in, how many of the goals we conceded have been set piece goals? Obviously, clean sheet against Sunderland.
Free kick, if technically
the Liverpool, that wasn't a set piece, was it?
No, it's just the Brighton free kick I can think of.
Brighton free kick.
That's it.
Neither of the Forest goals were they set pieces?
I don't think so. They came from open play. One came from a cross in the box, and Ahmad was quite small, and another one came from Deleu's bad positioning.
Yeah,
so they weren't set pieces.
So we seem to be better at set pieces literally ever since he came in.
Yeah, 100%.
Simply because I reckon it's half of it is because teams are less giddy when they get a set piece against us because we don't have Onana or Bayindir in goal.
Standing by Bayindir or Onana.
It's if you notice that it's completely stopped now.
Yeah.
Remember that period? It was like a 10-game period.
It was like 10
where
players.
Every single corner was just surround that goalkeeper, surround that goalkeeper, surround that goalkeeper.
Didn't Cunha score directly from a corner and Son scored directly from a corner as well?
Yeah, they both did.
Like back-to-back games.
Conceding 2 Olympicos. KDB Stan says 2 set pieces against Brighton. What was Brighton's other goal?
Maybe
it was from a corner.
It was a corner.
Xerxes lost his man.
Yeah, it was a corner. I know the free kick. Yeah, it was a corner.
The free kick I kind of don't count. It
wasn't even really. Was it a free kick?
The free kick should never have happened.
Yeah,
I know we conceded it, and it was just a fantastic free kick. But not that it never should have happened. It was like 10 yards further back.
Yeah, and also
it took on the edge of the area. It was meant to be like equidistant between the box and the halfway line.
Bad ref in that.
It's horrendous. That game, that refereeing was so bad.
It was. I'm glad
we should have got a pen. And Mbumo's first goal should have been ruled out. Their free kick shouldn't have been so close.
Yeah, it was actually nuts how bad. The ref was, Brighton fans were complaining, and I was like, no, the ref was bad for both of us.
Yeah, the ref was bad. I mean, against Forest, we can't really complain too much because that corner was probably not a corner, but also it was like that far. Like, if we're talking that.
Do you know what I said? You know what, we deserved that, because I remember Højlund would have got his first Premier League goal against Brighton 2 years ago, and the ball
on his it was like his first start as well, wasn't it?
I know, and I was like, that could have changed Højlund's career. You never know, the confidence, because he went another 10 games after that goal.
Yeah. It was his 14th Premier League appearance, I think it was.
He got a goal, and then he got 7 in a row. So he scored 7
and then he didn't score again for like 8 games.
Yeah.
Oh, poor kid.
He's a form player.
What do you make of him replacing? Šeško coming in over him? Is it because Šeško's got 2, or 2 obviously in the Premier League, and then we don't have other competitions. So Šeško might have been able to bag a couple in the Champions League if we had Champions League, because that was all of Højlund's goals.
Yeah.
Højlund's first 5 goals
space
for us.
In Europe.
Yeah.
Like Tottenham are scoring more goals in Europe. Newcastle are doing so much better in Europe than the league. Like, everyone's doing a lot better in Europe this season, apart from maybe Chelsea drew to that team. But I do miss not being in Europe, even Europa League, because you can rotate. Like, Maino and Xerxes would be getting nice minutes if we're in the Europa League. There could be rotation.
It would have been Champions League or bust.
Yeah. But like Shea Lacey, there could have been an opportunity for him potentially if you're still in the Carabao as well.
He's got to get his debut in December, by the way.
He will at AFCON, I think.
Has to.
AFCON, I think, is his time because
He's
there's no
got to.
Mbeumo and Ahmad. And
Yeah.
apparently Amorim's having meetings with him in extra sessions or something like that. But I think Chris Wheeler and Nathan Salt said that Amorim was having like meetings and lots of conversations with Lacey, and that, you know, there's talk of him getting a debut soon, which would be nice to see.
Chris Amoy says, once you see our defence let crosses in, just know we're about to be scored, as in, I guess, about to concede. That happens when we have Dallo, who's always unwilling to stop crosses. He seems happy to let them happen. Interesting. Who actually, yeah, that's a really good point. Who actually defends crosses for us? Like tries to, is it the wing backs? Like, is it, whose job is it?
I guess
It's a weird one, isn't it? Or is it the wide centre back? Are they meant to step out? Is it the midfielder that's meant to come in? Because if you're thinking about like a semi-early cross, right, like kind of they're level with like the corner of the box. That's like a more early cross than obviously deeper. That's the space where no one is defending for us.
Yeah.
Do you think there could be an issue with people like in that, like that defensive midfielder, wing back, and right or left
maybe like
back
communication?
Don't really know who should be defending that area.
I think yes. I think it's a communication issue because I think the wing backs. I think Dalot doesn't know where he needs to be positionally. That was very obvious the other day. But I'm also like, does the left centre back Luke Shaw know when he's expected to come over and when he's? I think positionally and yeah, because I don't have a clue who Amorim wants there.
Yeah. I do keep. I hate the fact that I keep thinking about Luke Shaw at left wing back and getting a bit excited about it because we go through this every season.
He'll do 10 minutes, look amazing, get injured.
It was like, do you remember when he came back last season against Bournemouth and he basically played left wing back for like 15 minutes at Bournemouth away, and he was phenomenal. He was so good, and he got like an assist for Højlund's last minute goal.
Can he do it for like half an hour without his legs just disintegrating?
I think
he could.
I reckon he could now because of our conditioning. Our conditioning, by the way, all our defenders or all our players who were getting injured so much under Ten Hag, suddenly they're fine again.
1 game a week definitely helps.
1 game a week, big time helps. But even then, like Mount, where he was only playing once a week, he was coming off the bench playing 20, 30 minutes
injured,
here.
yeah.
And remember Mount was playing well for us under Ten Hag in not last season, but the season before last. And everyone was like, why isn't he starting? Why isn't he playing? Mount, he came off the bench like 12 games in a row.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, why isn't he playing? Why isn't he playing? And then he got an injury in training, or he got something happened like in the final like 10 minutes. He started and then he just snapped. But now, Mount's been fit for about 6 months.
Yeah, like other than...
Admittedly, that includes the summer.
Odd game out here and there, but it's like 1 game rather than
he just missed the City game, which I feel like was a bit of precaution. He came back and started the week after.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's good. I think that 1 game a week is a big reason behind that. But I think Mount being fit, everyone being fit is helping. And I think just, Amorim, give us half an hour of Luke Shaw at left wing back. Just give us something different because...
1 game. Not this game. But who's after Spurs? International break.
I think it's Palace.
Palace at home or Palace away? Let me check this quickly.
I think we have Palace at home coming up.
Fixtures, where are you? Oh, it's Everton at home.
Everton.
You know what? Luke Shaw, left wing back, Everton at home.
Yeah, we won that 4-0 last year, Everton at home.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't David Moyes. Was it David
Sean
Moyes'
Dyche.
Everton? Sean Dyche's Everton. Oh, yeah. Like, one of the comments, Staffo XCI says, because I can't... XCI in Roman numerals, what is that?
X.
21?
X is 10.
X is 10, C isn't 5.
That's not what C is.
No idea. 91.
100.
Thank you very much. Shaw at left wing back, last 30 minutes and a 9-month injury. No, you see, this. I back Amorim. Like, my faith in Shaw being able to stay fit is on Amorim. Like, I think Martinez now, Martinez has been so unlucky with his injuries.
Yeah,
they're not muscle problems. ACL, his leg got snapped in a challenge. Remember his ankle injury?
Oh,
yeah. End of his first season.
Yeah.
That got injured, and then it was against. There was a Europa League game as well, wasn't it, where him and Varane both got injured in the same game?
You know, that's where we peaked. I said this the other day. Everything was going amazing in Ten Hag's first season. We just won the Carabao Cup. We would beat Barcelona in the Europa League. Then the Sevilla game, Varane and Licha
both got injured in the same 20-minute spell.
And then everything went downhill. We didn't get Varane and Licha back properly until the FA Cup final the following year. A year and like 3 months later, won the FA Cup final. Varane,
and then Varane left.
Varane left. Our best period in the last 5 years has come when Varane and Leach have both played together. I honestly think having two top centre backs makes such a difference to a team. Like, look at Tottenham when they have Van der Ven and Romero fit compared to when they don't.
So good. So good. I mean, Van der Ven is... I glaze him every time.
I would take him in a
anywhere,
heartbeat.
man. I tweeted the other day, like last week, I was like, we should test the waters for that. I didn't realise, they signed him for like 43 million a few years ago.
Yeah, like...
It's their most expensive defensive signing alongside Romero.
He's
about 43 million.
Go back line. I would Van der Ven, Semenyo, Elliot Anderson, Wharton. Do they want to come to Man United, please?
I reckon
that's my dream for.
I reckon they would. PJ asked, do you think Amorim is getting overpraised for tactics and coaching when it's basically just purchasing a new attacking front three? No, because I don't see much praise going on.
Yeah, he's not been overpraised.
No.
He's being given a bit of credit for the going long ball and changing up a little bit the last few games, but I don't think anyone's sitting there like, this is Amorim masterclass, because some of the super Amorim inners are like, Amorim hasn't changed a thing, the Amorim outers are just saying that because they're winning games, and it's like, but our literal possession statistics, the first 6 games is like 20% less than the last 3, or 20% more than the last 3, and then some people are like, Amorim's changing this and that. I think Amorim is improved us this season, and we can see that, but I don't think he's being overpraised. I think people are like, we've got a better attack, we look better, we need consistency now from Amorim. I think that's where most people are at. Like,
we bought a new front three, but I wouldn't exactly say that, like, Šeško, for example, was fully fit and firing. He's been decent. Admittedly, against Forest, he was a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Šeško
I think
was.
so. I thought Xerxes could have come on 65 minutes in.
He probably should have. Like, I can see why he maybe stayed on, because it was like, you need a tall guy in the box, and we didn't really do any crosses at all. But I think that Amorim's not being overpraised, because yes, we bought better players, but it's Amorim that did that. If that makes sense. Like, it was Amorim that chose to get rid of Garnacho. He chose to make, like, kind of end the thing with Rashford. The Rashford debate, we can debate that all day long, because obviously he's smashing it in Barcelona, but he would never have done anything remotely like that here.
No.
Now, like, Cunha's playing better than Rashford would have under Amorim here.
Yeah.
And Rashford is playing better than Cunha would have at Barcelona, for example.
Yeah.
He's just a better fit for
Although
both
the one thing
parties.
is, Rashford only started 2 Premier League games under Amorim and got 3 goals in those 2 games.
He did well, but like,
Amorim
I think
didn't like him.
it happened.
I feel like Rashford's fallen out of love with the club, and he wasn't happy, and I think he would have been inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he was ever this problem people made him out to be, and I think I honestly wouldn't have loaned him out in January. I think we could have done with him to the end of the season, because he's so much better than Garnacho and Højlund and that. But yeah, I think Barcelona being in a different environment, like, look what Anthony's doing at Betis. We know he's not going to do that at Man United. So yeah, I also think that him being in the league, it's probably an easier league as well.
Yeah, I think it's just a case of Amorim's not being overpraised for anything. He just kind of
people want consistency.
Yeah, we need more consistency, which we've brought in terms of results in the last 6 weeks. Like, it's 6 games, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, and that 1 loss, with a correct refereeing decision, could have been a win. Yes, we lost 3-1 to Brentford, but it was 10 men. They should have had 10 men. Apparently, shouldn't have taken 5 minutes to be taken.
Yeah.
So yes, that 3-1 loss to Brentford's meh, but there are a couple sliding doors moments in that where suddenly it would be 5 wins from 6 and a draw. That's suddenly 20 out of 20, not 19 out of 21 points collected, which is a whole different ballgame. Or is it still 16 out of 18? But press conference just come out. So Ruben Amorim, obviously 1:30. Well, he spoke a little earlier on this afternoon, but 1:30 p.m. press conference. The quotes have come out. So I will be reading a couple of them to you. So one of the first questions he's been asked is about, is his team better than they were since the Europa League final? Where effectively he said, the characteristics of the players, we have different characteristics in our team, but we also have a lot of players who played last year. We are a better team, we play better, and we understand the game better. We are more confident. At this moment, we play with a different confidence. We manage better the moment of the game, but if you remember that game, they had a shot on goal and won the game. I expect a different game. We can play better. We always have a little bit of luck. We also have to have a little bit of luck to win the game, obviously talking about the Spurs match. I agree with him there.
Yeah, I think
we're better than we were. This season, this Amorim team would smack last year's.
Oh yeah, I mean last year's
finished 15th. Yeah, they would probably rip them apart. You put like obviously Mbumo and Cunha did rip us apart last year.
Cunha and Mbumo versus Garnacho and Anthony.
outrageous.
Like, that is a ridiculous upgrade.
Yeah.
That's gone from like a 3 to a 9.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like
So
you've just upgraded. Like, we've upgraded big time.
Yeah, and then Amorim continues on the confidence, basically saying, I think we are more confident. We believe more that we can win any game, and we prove already that we can win any game. Yeah, kind of agree with that. The last game was tough on us because in some moments we weren't the team that we're supposed to be in every minute. And compare that against Brighton, it was a different thing. We cannot forget that we have a lot to improve. We are more prepared for anything to happen in a game. We also know that there is a lot to do and improve to win more of these kind of games and consistently win. We are capable and confident, but sometimes struggle in games that we need to do better. I think we can manage the game better now. We had a change from the moment we are struggling. Also because we have players who can change that for us. Very true. The individuals can help us. If you look against Nottingham Forest, we controlled the first half, but the energy, you could sense it was not the same. And that's something you could watch at the start of the game. That is right. The energy was different. We did control the first half against Forest, but it was less so compared to other ones.
I think the intensity was less. I think I was a bit annoyed that Amorim's cool second half and lack of tactical flexibility, but I also said you can't put the draw on Amorim. You have to put the draw on the players because the intensity we showed in the other games compared to the Forest game, I don't felt like we were running as much or we were attacking as much. I felt like we were just a lower intensity, and I think with Amorim's system, intensity is so important. The speed and the attacking intent in which we play at can be the difference, because it's not, if we do this slow, patient build-up, we just don't break teams down. We have to be quick. We have to be on it. We have to be winning the second balls. If you look at Liverpool, we were winning those second balls. That resulted in the goal 1 minute into the game. I think that is so key to Amorim's system. If Amorim's system's going to work, the players also have to show a certain level of intensity.
Yeah, Amorim's also agreed with you on something you said earlier. We were talking about the injuries and the fact that the injuries are getting better and conditioning. Amorim said, so he was asked about the improved injury record this season. He said, sometimes you have problems with players with knocks. It's not something like soft tissue, and you never know what's going to happen in the next training. If you play with intensity in training, anything can happen. Like, do you remember last season when there was that one injury, that one training session where like 5 players got injured?
Ahmad.
Mainu pulled his calf. Ahmad had a freak ankle injury.
Yeah.
And Mount went down. We didn't have Shaw, and there were a couple others
Mount
as well.
Shaw was no surprise.
Yeah, and all the normal. And Mike Martinez is already out. But then he said, but I think a big reason is one game every week. You can give an extra day to the players that you know that could struggle in the next training. So I think that is a big reason. Yeah, I do hear that. But I think even if we had 2 games a week now, our injury record would still be maybe not this good, because now we have no injuries. Martinez being back in training means that we have no one on the treatment table.
Wow.
Because the other one was Maguire, but he was on the bench last week.
That's nuts. I can't remember the last time we've had that. That is.
I have no idea when that was, because it definitely wasn't under Ten Hag.
Yeah.
We always had we had like 17 injuries at one point under Ten Hag, didn't we?
Like when we had, then we had no left back. Alvaro, you go to Benfica. Yeah, we'll play Lindelof left back. We'll play Amrabat left back. Alvaro, you go to
bring
Benfica.
Bring in Reguilon.
Why would you send Alvaro to Benfica when there was no Malacia, there was no Shaw? My head that is one of our biggest fumbles, I think.
Oh, easily. 45, 50 million pound left back there easily. He got twisted up against Liverpool.
Yeah, he didn't. He
didn't have a best game.
He
against Liverpool,
started
but
well,
in general, what? Yeah,
fantastic him versus Lamine Yamal was like he dealt with Lamine Yamal better than most
well.
left backs.
Yeah, I mean, it's so nice to So I always write the the day before a game, I'll write a starting 11 prediction article. Yeah, and I can just choose. We've had a full week's rest with a whole squad available, bar Martinez, because he won't start.
He could be on the bench.
He'll be on the. I think he'll be on the bench as long as Mainu's still on that bench.
If Mainu gets dropped from the bench, I'm gonna be like Amorim.
Well, Mainu has to be, because he's our third choice midfielder anyway.
Yeah, I prefer him to a guy.
Well, I think Amorim does as well. Have you noticed now Mainu's been coming on over Ugarte?
Yeah,
against Liverpool.
Control
against Liverpool when we had 5 minutes left, and after we went 2-1 up, he brought Mainu on. I think Ugarte might have already been on.
Ugarte was already on. I think he brings Mainu on for control, but if you take Casemiro off for Mainu, it's a bit, I think Casemiro has that bit of defensive stability, but I get not taking Bruno off, but I think he might sometimes take a Mount off, put Bruno in the 10, put Mainu with Casemiro potentially.
Yeah. Amorim is also talking about the goals conceded, like I was saying earlier. So we scored 17 goals, which is only 3 less than top in the league, but we also conceded 16. And Amorim says, it's a problem, especially if you see the league nowadays. The team winning lots of games is not suffering goals or shots on target, and that is And that is a big game, especially when you have talented players. In one opportunity, you can score a goal and win a game. But I think it's more a team thing. We need to defend better. We need to be more aggressive. We need to defend better when we have more energy. We have a lot to do and cannot suffer the amount of goals we are suffering, which we need to do to improve.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. It's weird because I actually think we have good defenders, bar left wing back.
I don't. Yeah, like, bar Dallo. I think most of our defenders have had good seasons.
He's probably been a top 5 centre back in the league this season.
Oh, he has easily.
Euro is mint. Like Maguire's solid. You know, Luke Shaw's been. I know people like to hate on him, but Luke Shaw's been solid for most games. You know, we know what Leacher can bring. We know what Aiden Heaven can bring. Of course, like Mazraoui, if he plays, he's good. Of course, like, Ahmad is more of an attacker than a defender. But we have really good centre-backs. We have a solid keeper. I think the defensive issues is more of a system, maybe like finding gaps, and also maybe just communication and understanding of where to be. I think it's like more of a team issue than like a let's buy a better centre-back. So I don't think buying a better centre-back helps. I think it's something to do with the way that we set up.
Yeah. Have you seen Ronaldo talk about United?
I saw bits and bobs of it and some of his quotes about, but I can't remember exactly what he said.
He effectively said United still... I don't know how much Ronaldo is actually keeping up with United at the moment, because he basically went, they still don't have the right structure in place. I'm like, well...
We changed that,
changed that since you were last here. But he also basically said Amorim can't do miracles. That was effectively what he basically backed Amorim in the way of, he was like, Amorim's doing the best he can. No one can perform miracles. And a miracle is what United need to get like that suddenly in like 6 months or whatever. Which I think's fair. Obviously, it helps that him and Ronaldo are...
friendly.
They're mates. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's going to back up Amorim in the Portuguese.
Yeah, he of course he is. And also Portuguese people, they stick together. Yeah. These guys, they really stick together.
But
Amorim in response to that has said, of course he knows and he has a huge impact in everything. He says, what we need to focus on is the future. We know that as a club, we know that we as a club made a lot of mistakes in the past and we're trying to change that. Let's not focus on what happened. Let's focus on what we are going to do now, and we are doing that. We are changing a lot of things in the structure, the way we do things, and want the players to behave. We are doing that and we are improving, so let's continue and forget the past. Oh yeah, because another thing Ronaldo also said was he reckons there's still players in this squad who don't quite understand Manchester United.
Yeah,
was another thing he said.
He spoke a lot about mentality. I think the mentality is so much better now than it was when Ronaldo was here, or even 6 months ago. Like, I think if you look at the weaker mentality players, Garnacho, for example, like, because I get he's frustrated, but any player that comes out after the Europa League final and slams the manager and because Garnacho, what came out of his mouth was a disgrace. You know, I think Anthony just didn't have the mentality to play for Man United, whereas Cunha has that mentality. So I definitely think we've got more players with the right mentality. I do think there's a confidence issue, but I think that's normal in football. I think Liverpool have had that recently and they won the league. I don't know if that's a mentality thing, but I think it's like when we win a couple of games, we just look better in general because the players believe more, and I think maybe belief is probably the word, confidence.
I reckon we're a lot more confident now.
Oh yeah,
than we used to be.
I could see it because we won 3 games in a row or 2 games
when we. No, but even then, without that, I feel like the start we had at the beginning of this season was
the game versus Arsenal was good.
The game versus Arsenal was good, but like it was so up down. It was like beating Burnley, losing to Grimsby, beating Chelsea, losing to City, and like. But then immediately it switched on. It helped that the signings were a little more settled and everything. Yeah. But I do think maybe not confidence, but a bit more. Well, it is confidence, but I think it comes from a bit more faith and belief, like the players have in themselves and each other. I think these players. I think Amorim trusts these players more now. The players trust Amorim a bit more, and the players trust each other a bit more.
Yeah.
But like Andre and Onana, for example, it was so obvious they did not trust that guy one bit. Even Bayindir. Like, he may have been a very nice, very good professional, whatever, but they definitely didn't trust him properly.
Crap keepers. Like, I always said this.
So bad.
I was like, I wouldn't drop an on for Bayindir, and everyone was like, what do you mean an on needs to be dropped? And I was like, just Bayindir is no Sergio Romero. I was just like, they're both bad.
Bayindir, the only benefit Bayindir had over Onana is that he wasn't Onana.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean he was better. He just wasn't specifically Andre Onana.
I think Le Mans is a 7 out of 10, but because we've had 3 out of 10s for so long, he's feeling like a 10 out of 10. Just the difference.
I hear it. Le Mans is just he's just doing the basics. And I find it very funny how much United fans are backing him. It's just because we all know it's like almost...
We've been through hell.
Not like, it's kind of almost joking around, isn't it? But at the same time, we actually... Like, I rate him as someone who's... Like, it's... when a younger player comes through, like Kobbie Mainoo, for example, and... within the first few games, you were like, he's so obviously going to get better. Because you can see he's just doing all these basics right. His weight of pass is good. His decision making. He's got the
fundamentals.
He's got the running good. Yeah, that's what Le Mans has.
Yeah.
He's not made any outstanding saves. He's actually made a couple good saves.
But yeah, you just.
But he's not done any David De Gea-esque madness yet. But he doesn't need to.
And also, 23 as a goalkeeper is like 19 as an outfield player. In my head, like it's so young, and like the players have been praising him in training. Tom Heaton said good things about him. He's definitely got that something about him, like in terms of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the fundamentals to be a good player. Like Maino's got the fundamentals to be a good player.
I can't really think of many goals we've conceded where I actually look at him and go, "Oh, you should have done better." It's just the Welbeck free kick.
The Welbeck free kick, yeah. But then it's like,
it's a fantastic free kick. It shouldn't have been a free kick. And on another day, he probably would have saved that.
And you can say the same about Raya for Soboslai's free kick when Arsenal did concede a goal.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those that's kind of difficult. It's not one that I'm concerned about. It's not like he's had Onana by his fourth game had about 3 howlers. Like Le Mans hasn't had a howler. Bayendier 4 games into the season.
Mate, do you remember Onana's first game with in pre-season at Old Trafford?
Oh,
the pre-season game where he got lobbed from halfway in like inside like half an hour.
Pre-season howler. Almost gave away a penalty versus Wolves in the last minute. Single-handedly got us knocked out of the Champions League.
Yeah. We finished last in our group.
The Lyon game, do you remember all that talk before the Lyon game with him and Matic? And he made 2 mistakes. And we could have been 2-0 up and it was 2-2.
Yeah.
Obviously, we won it in the end, in the second leg, in a dramatic second leg. But in the first leg, he cost us 2 goals after all the talk he'd given. He was just like, the more he'd speak, the worse he'd be. It was
the away game against Lyon as well, where it was it was like a cross/shot that he just left and it went in, isn't it? And then Le Mans had the exact same thing where he ended up actually reacting, got like a really minor touch on it and saved the ball. Yeah, it's just nice to be able to have to. Like, I don't really mind if Le Mans doesn't keep too many clean sheets.
Yeah.
Just don't do anything that's actively bad. That's how low these standards are.
Do the basics.
Catch a couple balls, make a couple decent saves, make a couple good parries.
When you save the ball, don't just push it back for them to tap it in.
Yeah.
Because Onana would make a good save. And then, Beto can just tap it in for Everton. And I'd be like, I'd be like, what, like, push it out.
It was everyone just tapped. Yeah, his parrying was horrendous. There's nothing else come through on the Amorim presser side at the moment. But what I was going to ask you last bit, same with you in the comments, you guys watching, is talking about some of the contracts expiries we have coming up in the next, over the end of this season and end of next season, and whether you want to see any extensions be handed out. So in this, what we've got at the end of this season, so end of June 2026, there are 4 players who are out of contract: Harry Maguire, Casemiro, Tyrone Malacia, and Tom Heaton. Casemiro we do have the option to extend that for a further season.
It's $300,000 a week.
But on $300K a week, would you like Malacia and Tom Heaton? I don't know how much discussion they need. Like Tom Heaton, I think is going to retire at the end of the season. I don't think we're going to offer him another one.
Sort of finished.
Because we've got like Vitek and Harrison as well coming through in the academy.
Been insane in the championship.
He's been crazy
Player
good.
of the month awards. He's been nuts. Harry Amas was man of the match yesterday or the day before.
Yeah. Harry Amas is, considering that Sheffield Wednesday are in the absolute pits at the minute, it must be so funny for him knowing that his wages are being paid anyway.
Yeah.
So none of the Sheffield Wednesday players are getting their wages paid, but because we're paying Amas's wages.
Yeah.
It's like he's just kind of sat there in the cafeteria getting paid.
I know, where the rest of them are just like.
It must be a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Or maybe not, because obviously he's a United player.
Yeah.
But the first one I'll ask is Harry Maguire.
I would give him a 2-year deal if he's willing to trim his wages. He's on, $200,000 a week nearly?
190.
So 200K. I think for me...
That'll be at the moment about 140 because of the non-Champions League clause.
Euro is the future.
Easily.
Mazraoui can play there, Heaven can play there. I think if we sell him, if we don't give him an extension, we have to buy a new centre-back this summer.
We're going to, surely.
Yeah. Gay on a free would be lovely, but I think there'll be a lot of competition for that. I would say extend, but I think 150k a week if we're in the Champions League.
I'd want to give him a contract where it's like 70k a week, and then put like appearance bonuses in there.
Yeah.
Like have quite high incentive appearance bonuses.
at most 150k a week if we're in the Champions League and he plays loads. But I would rather it be, to be honest, in that 100k range.
Yeah, because our current centre backs, we've got Harry Maguire,
Euro,
Mazraoui, I guess, De Ligt, Martinez, Shaw, Heaven, Fredrickson. Like, we need a new centre back.
Oh yeah,
we really, really need a new
Van
centre
der
back.
Ven, please.
Yeah, new Van der Ven left centre back with De Ligt and Euro. De Ligt with Van der Ven and Euro on either side. Outrageous. But what we need is Johnny Evans. We need another Johnny Evans. So I'm thinking just turn Harry Maguire into Johnny Evans.
Yeah,
he can make 10 starts a season in the FA Cup, maybe 2 in the Premier League.
Yeah, and then you want him on 70k a week if he does that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mind seeing Maguire stay purely because
no one's offering
as long as it doesn't hold us back from signing a new first choice centre back.
No one's offering Maguire more than 120k a week. No, unless you go Saudi. So I think, to be honest, we should offer him like 100k, and I think it will drag on and on and on, and I think it will get to the summer, and he's like, okay, I'm not going to get the money I want.
But what about Casemiro? This is a weird one.
He's been really key for us this season and really important.
He's been so good.
Like nuts, and I think it's almost like if you know you
saw a stat about
get
Casemiro.
Elliot Anderson, it's fine, but if you don't think you can get the midfielders you want to get,
but even if it's like we get someone like Elliot Anderson, like it'd be so good to. So Casemiro averages 0.61 goals or assists per 90 in the Premier League.
Nuts for a DM, most
midfielders in the Premier League. Pape Sarr is the highest so far this season.
He's playing it as a 10.
Yeah, and then Gravenberch is next after Casemiro.
Yeah.
And there's also, where's the other stat I saw about Casemiro, which I thought was hilarious?
We've conceded like 3 goals with him on the pitch.
It's interceptions per 90 minutes. Casemiro's third.
Yeah,
but you know who's first?
Who?
Ugarte.
Is it actually?
Yeah, Ugarte's got the most interceptions per 90 with 6.02. Then it's Granit Xhaka with 5.96. Then Casemiro with 5.3.
He's been nuts, Casemiro, but it's 300k a week. I cannot get
300k a week. Yeah, nowhere near.
150k, different conversation. But 300k a week. If Casemiro loves Man United and is like, you know what, I think I've got another 2 years at the top and I'll half my wages, go for it. I think Casemiro will go to Saudi or MLS and just take the big wages and finish his career because he's got the World Cup. I think that's the last thing left for him. But
I think he still backs himself, you know.
He does, definitely. I think he definitely, because he was rumoured to go to Saudi last year and he's like, no, I ain't going to Saudi. He wouldn't go to... So he backs himself for sure. I think it depends who comes in for him.
Yeah. KDB Stam says we need 2 centre mids if Casemiro goes. We need 2 centre mids anyway, I think.
Yeah, especially if we're in the Europe next season. I think if Casemiro and Bruno go, we need to get 3 midfielders. Because Bruno, if it has a 60 million release clause, that comes into play.
If I see anyone leaving midfielder-wise, it's Ugarte.
Yeah.
I reckon I can see him being given like the Højlund kind of treatment. They're not going to like bomb squad him or whatever it was called.
But like right at the end,
but Amorim's going to go, lad, realistically, you're going to be 6th choice midfielder next season. Because he's currently behind Bruno, Kobe and Casemiro.
Yeah.
And then we're going to add
2 midfielders.
Let's say we add Anderson and Baliba. Obviously, that's dreamland territory. That's then 5 centre mids ahead of him for a 2 position.
Yeah.
Basically 1 position. Effectively,
I think that is the tactic of Ineos. It's we're not going to force these players out, but
we're going to make them want to feel like they have to leave.
Like Onana and Højlund, because there was all these reports that we weren't going to sell Onana and Højlund, and Amorim was happy with Onana and Højlund, and I always knew that was a BS because of things I'd heard behind the scenes. But it was like they weren't going to force them out, but then they just brought their replacements, and then they left.
Yeah, they brought the replacements and kind of just went, well, we're happy for you to stay if you want to, and they go, well, not really, and they go, all right, bye.
Yeah, that's
kind of the end of it.
That's the tactic, and I rate that tactic because Amorim wanted Onana gone from the beginning of the window. I got a bit of exclusive info on that, and I said that's why he was dropped from the last game of the season as a sign. And I said that like he wants Onana gone. It's not going to be easy. A replacement might not be a big name, but like the plan isn't Onana. And then Bay and Deer played the first few games, showing the plan wasn't Onana. And then Lamont came in, and then Onana then left.
Well, it was the reports were saying that Amorim's mind was made up when Onana got injured second game of the season. Because there were, I don't know if you remember all the videos that came out of Onana playing on like these really muddy pitches and stuff like that the whole summer. And then he comes back and he comes back to pre-season going, my hamstring feels a bit dodgy. And then second day in pre-season he goes, guys, my hamstring is gone. And Amorim's like,
you were literally playing
right, you had 6 weeks to chill out. Yeah. So and then shocking, I think that's when according to I think it was the time so the Times or the Telegraph, one of them basically went, that's the moment when Amorim went, I really don't like you. but now I want you gone.
He'd already decided in like March, but that was probably like the nail in the coffin. Like,
yeah, it's like I need a new one. And also
like,
Bayern did just being bad for the first 3 games.
It reminds me of when Neuer went skiing on his holiday. And I think Neuer got injured because he went skiing. It's like, if you're a professional footballer, why would you go skiing?
Well, do you remember when Chelsea were really good a few years ago? They came to Old Trafford and Thibaut Courtois got injured the day before doing a basketball ad.
Oh my.
This is so specific, but it was the game that Ander Herrera hunted Hazard.
Yes.
And we won 2-0.
Yeah, I remember that game.
I remember it because Begovic started for them because Courtois injured his ankle trying to do a slam dunk during a photo shoot for some basketball thing.
It's nuts. I can see why they don't want them doing different sports.
Yeah. But 2027 quickly, before we wrap up, got a few big players who are expiring next summer.
Well,
First of that being Bruno Fernandes. Option to extend for a further year.
I love Bruno Fernandes. He doesn't fully suit Amorim's system. If by the time Bruno's contract expires, we're back in that sort of top 4 where we need to be, and Bruno's sort of becoming the weak spot because he doesn't suit the system, and we've signed 2 good central players, I'd say, Bruno, you have been an absolute legend, but we'll move you on. If it is different manager, different system, we need a number 10, I'd be like, extend his contract for another year. I think it really depends.
But would you activate it regardless?
I would activate it in 2027.
So like extend the contract by a further year, but don't give him another one. And then maybe in the summer or next summer, then choose what to do.
I would wait until 2027 and then see if I want to extend the contract. I probably would extend the contract. But
next one is Cobbs.
100%.
Give him whatever he wants.
He's too good. He's too good of a player to be out of this team. He will be back in this team. He will find a way. So there's going to be an injury. He's going to get an opportunity. And I reckon in a year's time, we'll be thinking, remember this time last year when Cobby was nearly finished?
Well, if we're getting rid of Bruno, that's when you hand Cobby the new deal. Yeah. Surely. Because if Amorim's all he's going... Because none of the players we've been targeting for midfield seem like Bruno replacements. No. Whereas Amorim keeps saying in press conferences that Cobby is next in line behind Bruno.
Yeah.
So that I might just be clinging on to hope
Anderson and Baleba is Casemiro replacement.
Exactly. So I don't know if Amorim's thinking... when I don't want to sign another Bruno Fernandes because we've got Cobby mainly.
Still is the only one that I think would be a similar role to Cobby.
But I've heard something. I've not really watched Stiller too much, but some of the things I've heard are basically being like he'd just get pushed around.
Physicality's an issue. Technicality, wow. Physicality's the issue.
But I would rather someone have a bit of a technicality issue in the Prem than a physical issue, because if you've got a physical issue, you can never be good technically.
Yeah, like
because you'll just get bullied.
I'd rather have Declan Rice and Tonali than like 2 really technical players. Like as much as I love Pedri, if you had Pedri and Vitinha pivot in the Prem,
you'd get eaten alive.
Have one of them next to Declan Rice, you're fine.
Yeah.
Have both of them, you're like, ooh, the dream pivot would be like Pedri and.
I just hope the Cobby stuff gets sorted out. Like I really, really do.
He's too good.
He's too good. He's £100 million midfielder, man. When during his first season at the club, and it's now his value on transfer market's now about £38 million because his contract's up.
Chelsea going to be all over that
in 18 months.
Just don't go to Chelsea.
Yeah, we've got an extension, but please don't go to Chelsea. Lissandro Martinez is the one after that.
It just depends on injuries.
Club have an option. I think we'll know by May if he's getting a new deal or not.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't get a new deal, we'll probably...
He's going to be rusty his first few games back, but by May we'll see if the rust is...
Do you think he's going to get a red card?
Yeah, he has a red card.
Because he's actually not got a red card for us before.
Is he not?
No. You'd think he would.
He's had a lot of yellows. He's had yellow card suspensions.
But he's never actually been brandished the red card. Chris Amoy says, what's the highest price you would get Anderson for? 75?
I'd go up to 90 million.
You think he's that good?
If he has a good World Cup, you're not going to get him for much less.
I don't know if he starts in the World Cup. He's good, but I reckon... You know what we might do is we might wait to see who starts out of Wharton and Anderson, and then go for whichever one doesn't start.
Do you know how I see it? Last summer we were linked to Semenyo, Cunha and Mbeumo.
Yeah.
The best of the rest out of the top 6 for attack. And we got 2 of those 3. It's Baleba, Wharton, Anderson. We're going to get 2 of those 3. I think that is the plan.
That's so much money, man.
But
that's a crazy amount of cash.
I think it's going to be 2 midfielders, centre-back, and that could be the window.
I'd go 90 for Wharton. I wouldn't go over 75 for Anderson. I think Wharton's just better. Wharton is just better than him.
Wharton is better, but I think Anderson is more what we need.
I hear it. I mean, he showed us exactly why he's fantastic actually when he played against us. That was mad.
Yeah, it was nice.
And then other one, Luke Shaw.
He'll be gone. He's gone.
No sort of contract?
He's been good, but I think United are like, we'll give him a new contract and he'll get a 1 year long injury. Like he'll get injured as soon as you give him a new contract. I think United will
gone
be
this summer, or keep him until his contract expires next summer.
Keep him until his contract expires next summer. Because I think if we do lose Maguire, you don't want to lose Shaw as well. I think you can get money for Shaw in the summer, and someone says 15 million. You're like, all right.
No, it's 30.
But
he's turning 31 in the summer.
If you can get money, take it. But I'm not.
It'll be 5 mil max we can get for him.
Yeah, I'm
31 years old, final year of his contract, injury issues.
I'd rather him stay for depth than get 2 mil.
Yeah,
for
no,
him,
I agree. I think
we'd
we'd get more value out of him just being like a backup.
He's a good squad player.
Yeah.
I actually think he's a good player. He's just not someone we want to be able to rely on.
And then last one, Altay Bayındır.
He can go.
He's going in the summer, potentially even January.
I'd rather have Vitek and Le Mans competing for next
Would
season.
would you be happy with two people directly competing for number one spot?
Henderson and De Gea didn't really work. But
It doesn't. I don't think it works.
it's like because you got James Trafford and Donnarumma.
You've got Raya and Ramsdale at Arsenal a couple seasons back.
Yeah, I think Vitek. I'd probably give Vitek a Premier League loan, see how he does. I think the thing is we need to know how good Le Mans is. Like he looks good, but it's 3 games.
Yeah.
I want to see a bit more of Le Mans.
Vitek, I've got a sneaky feeling we might just be we'll make him look as good as he can elsewhere, and then just cash in for like 25, 30, like 30 million.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Like I'd say let's say if he does well this season and then goes on loan to a Premier League club next season and does well, he's like easily can fetch as much money for like they got for like Kelleher.
Yeah.
It was like 25 million.
I mean we did, considering how badly we sold Dean Henderson for, I would like to think that we could sell Vitek a bit better. When you look at that, James Trafford went for more than Dean Henderson, and James Trafford was playing in League One for Bolton, and Man City still got more for him. The Dean Henderson is nuts. So I do think if Vitek can get good Premier League loan,
Vitek's
give me 40 million.
Got the world against him a little bit. Not the world against him, but like he's got the cards stacked against him in this because we bought Le Mans. Rather than it just being like another academy player who's stepped up while Vitek's been away.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But he's a great goalkeeper. But regardless, Alice, thank you so much for coming on as always.
Thank you for having
me. Pleasure. Yeah, it's been. If you guys enjoyed, please do let us know. Let us know what you think about everything you've spoken about. Amorim's comments, the contract stuff. Do we beat Spurs? What was our assessment of the Forest game like? Let us know in the comments below. And apart from that, I will be live again next Thursday from 2 p.m. by the way. Because we're moving this show to 2 p.m. so hopefully means that Flex can then come on. So hopefully Flex will be back next week with me in the studio and whoever else may be joining us. We have to find out when you tune in. But so from 2 p.m. next Thursday, What the Devil episode 87 will be here. We'll be talking about everything else. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week.